eating well, you're training well, but you're still just not feeling quite right. You might still be feeling really tired, irritable, bloated, just feeling like your hormones are a little bit out of whack. So it might be time for you to crack your blood sugar code. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, most women don't realise this, but if there's one thing that has one of the greatest impacts on your hormones, on your energy, mood, weight, and overall well-being, it could well be your blood sugar. And today, this is exactly what I'm going to walk you through. A simple 3-step process to using something called a CGM to help you balance your energy, your mood, your weight, and your hormones without having to diet or do more exercise. Yay! Now, I've also put together what is called a beginner-friendly CGM guide. And this is going to help you understand the numbers, the patterns, and those simple tweaks that can make the biggest difference. So if you want a copy of this, then comment the word CGM and I will send that straight to you. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lucy and I'm a health coach and the creator of the Fresh Framework. Now, this is what I use to help women to naturally rebalance their hormones so they can restore their energy levels back again and finally feel so much better in themselves. Now, I want you to understand that every time you eat, your blood sugar is going to naturally rise, but sometimes it's going to have a big spike and it might drop down really quickly again. And this is where your body is going to have to release cortisol and adrenaline, those stress hormones, to bring it back up. Now, these blood sugar swings don't just affect your mood and your energy, but they're also directly influencing your sex hormones, your estrogen, your progesterone, and even your thyroid as well. So if your hormones are feeling a little bit off, it might well be that your blood sugar is a good place to look. So this is where a CGM comes in. Now, this is a small little sensor that you put on the back of your arm and it will track your blood sugars 24/7. So you can instantly see what your body is reacting to. So everything from the food you're eating, the movement you're doing, the stress, the sleep, even supplements. Now, there's a 3-step process to cracking your blood sugar code with the CGM. And I'm going to walk you through that right now. So number 1 is to track your normal habits. So for the first 1 to 4 days, just literally wear your CGM and live your normal life. Don't try to be good. Don't try to tidy up your diet. I want you to just whack it on, eat your normal food, and just notice what is happening. Now, in this phase, I want you to look at what's happening with those meals. Are there any unexpected spikes? Because there might be healthy foods that you're eating that actually aren't working for your body. For me, it's rice. Big no-no. It might be that you're noticing that you're spiking more on days you haven't had a good night's sleep or days that you're more stressed out, even though you're eating quite healthily. Maybe movement is changing those readings a little bit. But this part alone is just to look and observe, not to change anything. And step 2 is to analyze and spot those patterns. So this is where we start to connect those dots together, get that awareness of what is happening. So look at what meals are keeping those energy levels and those blood sugars a little bit more stable. Which are the meals and foods that are sending those blood sugars into a massive spike and a big crash? What's happening the morning after a bad night's sleep? What is happening maybe to your blood sugars after you've done some exercise? When you're having those stressy days, is this impacting the data? This is where you can get some real aha moments and it can really explain how you're feeling. So number 3 is to then do some experimentation and start doing a bit of a tweak. So here's the key, just one change at a time. All right, so just try little tiny shifts, such as maybe starting your day with a good level of protein for your breakfast, a good 20 or 30 grams. See what happens when you do that. Maybe then try shifting your evening meal a little bit earlier. Maybe adding more fibre onto your plate to slow down that blood sugar absorption after you've eaten. Maybe try a brisk 10-minute walk after your main meal of the day. You could start maybe swapping some things that you might eat when you're having a snack. So you could start to pair maybe your carbohydrates that you might be eating on their own, like a chocolate bar or a biscuit, and add some protein or fat. See if that makes a difference. Maybe if it doesn't work, tweak it again. And just start to see how these small adjustments can completely transform things like your energy, your mood, your sleep, and ultimately your hormonal balance. So don't forget, if you want a copy of my beginner-friendly guide to working with the CGM and the data, then comment the word CGM below and I will send that straight to you.